Well, Mark, here we are. We did it again. Now, two-time Toronto Hunt member guest champions. Just saying that out loud, it feels good. A couple days later, hasn't sunk in yet, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know how many friends we got left down the hills. I got to be honest with you, man. We're going to take some heat. It's a good thing we were playing off a net zero, right? So collectively, we didn't get any candy, which is pretty good. So they can't call us sandbaggers. So that's the good news. The bad news is that doesn't mean they gotta like it, right, Adam? Like,
Yeah. Well,
I,
okay.
I know someone who does like it though.
Who's that?
Our good friend and my personal physician, Dr. J. Petroff, who had 10 units on you and I, which I believe cashed in I believe it was $800 to the good doctor for believing in the Scully Zecchino twosome. So good on the doc.
Wow. Well, I mean, at the start of the day, I know FanDuel didn't have official odds on the Toronto Hunt member guest, but we were not the favorites for sure because, like you mentioned, we didn't get a lot of dots, but a lot of people listening, watching this right now are playing in member guests and they're getting 5 shots here, they're getting 10 shots here. But because for the day with the handicap index, you were a +2. So on two holes, if you made a three, it was actually a four for the tournament. Mark, that's nuts.
Yeah, but what was crazier is that you played those holes pretty much by yourself and played them in one under par, right? So that's like it's not crazy that you would make a birdie or a par on that hole. That's not crazy. You're going to do that a lot of times. What's crazy is you did it exactly when you had to, knowing that I was pretty much useless to you. Like even if I made a birdie, the best it was going to go down is a four, and in all likelihood, I'm going to make a four, and it's going to go down as a five, and we're going to lose a shot, and I mean, so you need a lot of luck. You need to ham and egg it when, which we did nicely. Not only you on those two holes, but your lovely birdie for eagle at that par five. So, I mean, it's interesting. You know what I found interesting about the entire day, other than a ton of fun, Adam, is that how how much setup, a difficult setup, can negate a lot of the strokes, higher handicaps, things of that nature. Um, the Hunt Club is not a big golf course, as you know. It's a tiny ballpark. Scotty Heron, our superintendent, had that place running tickety boo. We had a hurricane, like leftover hurricane, come through the day before. Our greens were running at over 12. Hole locations were extremely difficult. Course was playing as hard as it could, and it bunched up the leaderboard. It was great, and we had a great mix of guys, great mix of teams, highs, lows. But I like the fact that 6 under par gets in a playoff. I mean, we used to have member guests 20 years ago at the Hunt where if you didn't shoot 8 under, you weren't in the top 10 because net 57 would win because the golf course was just set up so easy and there were so many high handicap, and it was just an ungettable number for like 60 or 70% of the population. And I know we're talking about Toronto Hunt Club now, but I got to imagine there's a lot of our listeners right now going, "Yeah, that's my member guest.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sucks. The same people win it every year, and the handicaps don't quite make sense to me. We've heard these things, and how are we going to shoot 58? We're incapable of shooting 58." If you're out there listening, if you're a men's captain, if you're a golf chair, if you're a ladies captain, you have anybody in your club, if you have that conversation at your club, like, "I'm sick of seeing 59 win the member guests and stuff like that," go to 80% handicap and set it up as difficult as possible. Those two things I can't recommend more than more if I tried, because it's made the day so much fun for everybody.
I certainly think we'll be sending that clip out to some clubs maybe to take a look at for their member guests. And you mentioned the log jam near the top of the leaderboard. When we finished, we were tied for the lead, and there were still some groups finishing up following on Golf Genius. So what ended up, we needed a playoff, and we were talking, well, after we won, of course, but just
Yeah.
how nervous we both were. When can you remember being that nervous on a golf course?
It's been a long time because we play the game for fun.
Yeah.
We don't play the game for living. I'm trying to recall being nervous on a golf course. I can't. I honestly can't recall it. I was many years ago. We've all been there and had those feelings, those like jittery feelings. But I could, and it was weird. I looked at you and went, Adam, I'm exhausted. A, we were out there a long day in the heat.
Hmm.
B, I'm like, holy crap. I mean, this is like everybody watching, everybody expecting you and I to do well, right? Playing against my good friend Mike Sutton, who's an amazing golfer, and his dad Gary is like the nicest guy. That two wonderful people who you and I actually had a lot of money on to win,
Yeah.
which is funny in itself that we cost ourselves money by actually winning. Um, it was so good, so much fun. But you know what? Maybe that's good for you and me, right? To feel some jitters, feel some angst again to play golf as to more often than not hitting every shot for an entire year completely disassociated from the income. Like excuse me, from the outcome. Like I don't mean to say that people don't want to play well. Like, of course, people want to play well. You like hitting good shots better than you like hitting bad shots. You like good days on the golf course better than frustrating days on the golf course because you just want to go play golf. And you and I had this chat in the middle of the round out there. When you're fighting your swing and you're fighting the center of the club face, you don't really go play golf. You kind of go out there and you look for it. And you're hoping to find contact and you're hoping to somewhere along the way find something that patches it together for the day. But you're not actually like you're not sitting up there going, okay, what shot is required and I'm gonna hit the shot required. You know what I mean? You're not
Yep.
playing the game. Um, so we kind of do that year in, year out, but I don't ever hit a shot really caring what happens about it. Like I want it to do better, but I don't really care if it does better. So it was nice. It was really nice to play some golf there for a very brief moment in time, one hole, where it was like I really cared about all of our shots. I was nervous when the ball was coming off your club, which is weird, right? So it was cool. It was a lot of fun. We were very lucky. We got it done in a playoff, and Mike almost took it away from us with a brilliant putt, and Mike's dad almost chipped in to take it away from us. But it's a great group of people, great camaraderie, lots of fun. It was nice to care for a change on a golf course. Dave Hebs, I saw Hammer. I saw Hammer.
That's where just
He
where I
was
was
there.
going.
Yeah. So I saw Hammer before you go. So I saw Hammer last night. It was his 50th birthday, and he said it jokingly, but he wasn't joking. He was like, it was really nice to see you not hate golf, as he put it, but to see you go out there and hit a golf shot that you actually cared about. Because it's probably like 20 years.
Yeah, well, a couple things. So the playoff hole, it was the first hole at the Toronto Hunting Club. We were playing the blue tees for the playoff hole. It was probably playing 285, call it that, maybe 290 mark.
Yeah, it was 290. It was let me do the math. Yeah, 285 hole.
Hmm. Hmm.
285 hole, 275 front edge, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you hit a driver. You called it like a floaty driver that landed on the green. You had about 50 feet coming back. I hit a 4-wood just in front. Both of our opponents, Mike hit the green in regulation. His dad just missed, and I chipped it to about 8 feet. And then you nearly made the 50-footer for eagle. Mike just missed his putt. And you mentioned Dave Hempstead there. I know we have a recording. We're not going to play it on the show because it was the funniest thing ever. There's a couple words that we can't play on live radio. Anyway, so Dave Hempstead obviously is a comedian, and he went up at the end of the night and did 10 to 15 minutes of stand-up, just carving us apart. I mean, you guys had the matching pink blazers on. He called me a cyborg,
Cyborg.
but I mean, but that's the beauty of these events, right? We care about golf, about playing golf, playing it well for a day even, and hey, we come out on top as well.
Yeah, it was fun. He killed it, total, and the whole team killed it. Jeff,
Oh yeah.
Shelby, Marcel, Scott, the whole team killed it. It's a great day. You've been a member guest. I mean, it's a little 9-hole by the lake, but we killed the member guest, especially for a one dayer. For a one dayer, Mike McLaughlin, our friend
Oh
Mike
yeah.
puts a lot of work in. They kill it, they crush it, and I'm glad we did it. Next year, Adam, we are going to have a circle, a bullseye on us next year, my friend, for the three-peat, for 3 in a row. Oh boy, we might not get out of that parking lot in one piece if we get her done next year.
Yeah. I'm a little terrified I might be playing role of your partner and director of security throughout the day for you. Now, before we turn the page
Yeah.
and actually look at the Open Championship coming up this week, we won the trophy for the second straight year. Do you have any big plans for your day with the Toronto Hunt member guest winning trophy like they do with the Stanley Cup? Are you going to take it anywhere, the Hall of Fame, pour Brunello out of it? What do you think?
I think I should bring it up to Bayview and we should drive it around Bayview for
Now
18
we're talking.
That would make sense, would it not? Like, we could let everybody know it's coming in case people want to take their photo with it, things of that nature, you know.
I think it'd be a really good ball marker. I don't know about you, but but it was an amazing day. And Mark, thank you again for inviting me.
Adam, awesome day, buddy.
I am so excited for next year when we go for the three-peat.